Okay. So we're going to do these bottom 4 today. All right? And then we'll worry about the other 4 later. Does anybody know what it means if something is compounded annually? Anybody know what does annually mean? Go ahead, Triton.
Just yearly?
Yeah, yearly. So what that means is that you would get your interest at the end of the year, and then that interest would be added in, and then you get interest on interest now. Do you remember that? That's the definition of compound interest. Should we add that? Let's add that quick to your sheet. All right. So compound interest is when partial interest is put into your account partway through the year. You then get interest on that interest. So it's kind of like the interest that you've earned so far is being rolled into your bank account, which means that now you're getting interest on that interest that you got. So again, what I wrote is partial interest is put into your account partway through the year. You then get interest on that interest. And like I said, we'll be doing this by hand tomorrow, as well as Post-it Partners, right? I think it's Post-it Partner Day in here tomorrow, or is that Math 9? In here. You want this, Kate? You want this one? Okay. So this means that it's compounded. It's put into your account. That interest is put into your account annually. What do you think semi-annually means? Twice a year? I'm going to write on here 2 times a year. Quarterly is 4 times a year. Okay. So what we have to figure out, and we're going to do an example on here to show you. So I'm on the compound interest table right now. It says Delia deposits $2,000 in a savings account that pays 2% interest compounded quarterly. That's 4 times a year. How much will she have at the end of 3 years? So what this table does is it goes by interest and by the number of periods that you've compounded that interest into it, and it'll tell you how much $1 will return you. So how many times has her interest compounded? It's 4 times a year, and it's 3 years. So 12 times. So I'm going to write 12 periods, which was, just in case you forget, 3 years times, like 4 times a year. So, and it's 2%. So go down on the table to 12 periods and 2%. Do you see how it says 1.2682? Okay, I'm going to write that right here, 1.2682. That means that every dollar in your account has grown into $1.27. So do you see, like, what if it was just $1? What would that mean? If your dollar had grown into still $1, what did that mean? You gained no interest. So do you see how in this scenario you've gained almost 27% interest? Okay, so what you're gonna do with your calculator is you're gonna multiply that by how many dollars they put into the account. So Delia, you're gonna take this multiplier and multiply by what? $2,000. And we need all those decimals too. 1.2682 times 2 grand. So now she has $2,536.40. Did you guys get the same thing I did? Okay, how do we feel about this?
Sounds easy enough.
Okay, do you see how nice it is? I mean, look at this, it's like a pyramid here. If you look at it, I call it a pyramid instead of a table because up here on the left, it's starting at very, very low. And then down here on the right, it's really, really high. That means for every dollar you had, now you've got $2.67. Why is it so high down here?
That's a lot. That's
Sam?
Highest interest and it's in there for the longest period.
Highest interest rate, and it's been compounded the most times. So it's not necessarily the longest period of time, it's how many times it's been compounded throughout the year. Yep. So you can see here that, for example, let's say that you have 4% interest. If you have 4% interest and you've only had it for one period, that's just 1.04, that's 4% interest added in. But if it's been there for 25 periods, that's 2.67, so that's way significant. Everybody understand? Beautiful. All right, so right now you've got a couple minutes. Why don't you just quickly run through doing these bottom 4 questions using this table. If you're struggling, call me over. Remember, ignore the top 4 questions for right now. Yep. Remember, annually is just one time a year. So for the first one, it's just in there for 5 periods because it's in there for 5 years.